Good morning, everyone. It's Sal Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. The night after the night before, the morning after the night before. How do you say it? Whatever you say it, Manchester United will be playing in Bilbao in a couple of weeks to face Tottenham Hotspur in the Europa League final, guys. I mean, a massive, massive game. An impressive performance. A game of two halves, you might say. Athletic Bilbao were very good for 60 minutes. And then Manchester United came back into the game and absolutely squashed them. Credit must go to Ruben Amorim. Credit must go to Ruben Amorim for the in-game changes that he made. He made the substitutions that some of us were like, what's going on there? And it worked. And that's what great managers do. Great managers, they make things happen. You know, when the game is not going your way, they make things happen. I mean, I saw 20 years of Sir Alex Ferguson do it. You know, when games are going away from us, he managed to make that change that changed the whole course of the game. Now, I want to see all those people who were doubting Ruben Amorim come on this stream and make your apologies louder than your criticism. Because at the end of the day, I have not seen them since last night. All those people criticizing Ruben Amorim, the media, the so-called Man United fans, the rival fans, you know, I haven't seen them. There should be a search party going on for these guys because Manchester United have reached 4 finals in a row. Manchester United are going to a European final in a season that has been in turmoil. Yes, we're 15th, you know, but that's not solely down to Ruben Amorim, is it? You know, he came in mid-season. He came in mid-season with a distinctive style of play, where players are not his, off-field issues up to your arm, you know, and you know, he must get the credit for last night. Manchester United win 7-1 on aggregate against Bilbao, 3-0 away, 4-1 at home. That is the 4th best team in Spain that Man United have won. Yes, you can say that Nico Williams and Inaki Williams are, you know, were missing. They had injuries, but so did we. We got Licha Martinez out. We got Xerxes out. Of course, we got De Ligt out. We got our own problems we're facing as well. That's football. But at the end of the day, nothing could deny the fact that Manchester United absolutely deserved it yesterday. And that in that second period, Man United ran riot. And it has to all go down. I mean, not all. The players have to take some accolades as well. But Ruben Amorim's in-game management during that game was absolutely phenomenal. And as I said, I want to see those people criticizing Ruben Amorim come back on this stream and make your apologies louder than your abuse. Oh, it's only against 10 men. It's only against 10 men. That's what the narrative was, isn't it? That's what they were talking about. Oh, you only could beat 10 men. Well, Man United scored 4 yesterday, 11 against 11. So I want to see those people, those media outlets, those so-called fans, you know, who've been criticizing Ruben Amorim. And I want to praise those people who stuck by the manager. That's what I want to do. Because we are on the brink of a Champions League spot. In one of our worst seasons in history, guys. We're on the brink of winning the Europa League and getting a Champions League spot. Unbelievable. The tactics, you know, the abuse that the manager has been receiving over the last few weeks and months. You know, it's been unfair. It's been too much sensationalized, you know, and yesterday proved. But with a team, I don't think is ready. I don't think Man United are a great football team at the moment. But managed to get the result, get it over the line. And it was an absolutely brilliant second half of the game for Manchester United, scoring 4 goals so quickly. You know, I felt if the game was going on a little bit longer, we could have scored 5 or 6. The game should have been dead and buried in the first leg anyway. You know, Bilbao, fair play to them. They played their part. The fans were excellent of Bilbao. But I feel like the best team won in the end. And Man United were already leading when they went down to 10 men in the first leg. And I felt Man United deserved to go through to the next round. And fair play to Ruben Amorim. Congratulations to the players on the pitch. Congratulations to those individuals who came on like Mason Mount, Ahmad, who changed the game. Absolutely phenomenal. And that is what we love. That's what we want. That is what it's all about. It's all about Bilbao now. It's all about going to a final. That is what football heritage is. Going to another European final. Football heritage. Rival teams. Learn from it. That is what football heritage is. Big up, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. And don't forget to smash a like. If you could do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, everyone who's joined me this morning, of course, guys. And this lovely morning, of course. Big up, Shah. How you doing, my friend? Morning, Sal. Follow. United Bilbao. We're going to Bilbao. Big up, Shah. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sanjay. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good. Good day, Sal. My colleagues and I were chatting that we are going to Bilbao, chat. We're going to Bilbao, guys. We're going to Bilbao and we could possibly qualify for the Champions League. Now, people were talking about Man United going to the Champions League. Man United are going to embarrass England and things like that. Ridiculous things like that. As far as I'm aware, Man United have never embarrassed England in the Champions League, right? Man United have had massive results in the Champions League. We've actually beaten PSG twice and things like that. You know what I mean? In our worst period. So I don't know what they're really talking about. I mean, the bitter and the hate must really get at them. They must, as I said, they must wake up in cold sweats at night thinking about us, that we're going to the Champions League, etc., etc. You know, and yesterday, you know what they said? We couldn't do it 11 against 11. There you are. 11 against 11. Man United win the game comfortably in the end. Amaram outers and haters in mud. Absolutely. In the mud, Kenny. Where are they? Can someone ask me, where are these Amaram outers now? Where are they now? Oh, it's 11 against 11. Oh, 10 against 11. That was the narrative, wasn't it? Oh, it's 10 against 11. Where are they now? Can someone tell me? You know what I mean? It is a sad day for them. Morning, Sal. Morning, Jengas. How you doing, you legend? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're good. Sal, we always make things difficult for us at United. Come on, let's win the Europa. The one thing I would say, and I bring in subjective points of view, is that Man United need to start the games a lot more quicker than they're doing. Man United are taking too long to get into their stride. And yesterday, we took too long. And a better team, maybe, Athletic Bilbao, a good team, fourth in La Liga, but a better team may capitalize on that. We have to be ready for Spurs. I don't mind us being the underdog against Spurs. I don't mind if Spurs are the favourites. I don't care. I think what's the most important is that Man United, you know what, concentrate on ourselves and make sure we win the game. Spurs going to a European final is a bit like, you know, how would I say Spurs going to a European final? Spurs going to a European final is a bit like a snowball in hell, basically a snowman in hell. Spurs don't go to European finals. You know, Tottenham don't go to European finals. And Man United have been to many and plenty. And a lot of those players there have been to European finals. And, you know, we have to use our experience in that game to make sure that, you know what, we win that game. Right, I'm going to do a poll, guys. I want you to get involved, please. The man of the match. So let me just put this up. I'm just going to write this poll. If I can get the poll up, that is brilliant. Right. I'm going to do my man of the match. So the man of the match, who was your man of the match? So we're going to go with Mason Mount. We're going to go with Ahmad. We're going to go with Lenny Yoro. And we're going to go with Casemiro. Those are the contestants for man of the match. Let me know what you think, guys. It was a great performance in the second half. Absolutely. Ephraim, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. So we do not have to play like that. We will be in trouble in the first half. If we play like we played in the second half, we'll be okay. But the first half, we really do need to pick up the pace. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Roy Michael, good morning, my friend. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Everyone, Mouth second goal was fantastic, like Beckham halfway line. Oh, yeah. Man United, God bless everyone. Have a great day, Michael. Thank you so much for joining me, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Well, Money Mace with 2 goals. David Beckham. I mean, yeah. Whoa. Beckham used to hit the ball as a dead ball, and it used to go, not touch the ground, and it used to go in the back of the net. That was different. You know, but we take that. It's good enough, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's good enough. I will take that. Absolutely. Ephraim, we are good when we are underdogs. I prefer to be underdogs in this game against Tottenham. I don't know about you guys, but I actually prefer Man United to be underdogs in this game. I prefer us to sit back, be quiet, and just let the media talk. Let the media talk. And we'll be ready for this final. One thing's a fact is that Man United are more experienced in finals, in particular in the last few years. When was Spurs' last final, you may ask? You know, so at the end of the day, I feel like Man United are more ready than Tottenham. But people want to put the favourites as Tottenham. That's absolutely fine. I'm happy with that. I'm happy for Tottenham to be the favourites. We will sit back. We will just be humble and we'll let them talk at the end of the day. Jengas. Strange passive tactics didn't suit us, Sal. Once Amram took the shackles off, we blitzed them, and Euro getting forward well, couldn't handle them. Jengas, I agree. You know what? One thing's for certain is that, you know, with the sign of a great manager, let me tell you, you know, sometimes a manager picks a team and it doesn't quite work. And it's happened under Alex Ferguson many times. You know, we pick a team, it's not working. But the key to a great manager is a manager who has the guts and confidence and basically initiative to make a change in a game that is so important. It's not easy to go into a semi-final like that and make the amount of changes that he did. You know, basically saying the tactics are not working. We're going to play this. And some of us were saying that the changes were, wow, they were a bit like, I wouldn't do that. But he made the changes. He had the guts to make the changes. And he won the game for us with those changes. That is what great managers do. And I saw something with Ruben Amorim yesterday that I thought, yeah, that is a manager. That is a guy who's not going to be scared of making changes. You know, in-game management. In-game manager. It could have all went pear-shaped. It could have all went slapped us on the face. We could have lost 2-3-0, 4-0, and he would have been on the line, his job at the end of the day. But there you go. Brilliant from Ruben Amorim yesterday, and it was absolutely fantastic in my opinion. Mount for me. There you go. Mason Mount, money Mount. Big up. Man of the match, Euro. Euro's very underrated. There you go. Get your votes in, guys. Get your votes in. We're gonna say who wins the man of the match vote, of course. Lenny Euro is brilliant. What a player Lenny Euro is. I haven't seen a young defender, right? And I'm going to be honest, at Manchester United. I mean, the closest I think about, when I think about young players who come through at Man United, especially in particular defenders, I think about Wes Brown, players of that nature. Lenny Euro is the best young defender that we've had in the last, I think in the last 30 years. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. And I feel like we need to look after him. And, he's so important to us. This is why I was saying, please don't give Lenny Euro a yellow card. Because Lenny Euro was on a yellow card. If he got a yellow card, he would miss the final. Are any Tottenham players missing the final, by the way? Did any of the Tottenham players get suspended? That would have been nice. I don't know if they have. So nice to see the Mount of Chelsea. Hope he stays fit. I feel like Mason Mount yesterday announced his arrival as a Manchester United player. Mason Mount has finally signed for Manchester United. He is finally a Manchester United player. Because over the last few weeks, you couldn't get that Chelsea thing out of your head. He's a Chelsea player because he hasn't played much football. No one is saying that Mason Mount is a poor footballer. Mason Mount is a very good footballer and very useful for what he does. It adds an element of control and authority in that area of the pitch. Now, the way he took his chance yesterday when he came on, the game completely slided from that side to that side. And I felt he was absolutely phenomenal. And for me, he announced himself yesterday as a Manchester United player. And I hope it can continue. And I hope he can succeed at Manchester United because he is a very good player. He proved it yesterday. He proved it. That strike at the end from the halfway line, Beckham-esque, some may say, was absolutely brilliant. Improvisation, the skill to get it on target as well, changed the game. But not only him, Ahmad, when he came on, we need to wrap Ahmad up in cotton wool because at the end of the day, Ahmad, we need him for that final. We need Ahmad for that final. He is an absolute generational talent. Brilliant. Absolutely superb. And obviously a scatter of Lenny Euro, who is a generational talent. Brilliant defender. Some were saying that Dorgu had a poor game. I don't agree with that. I thought Dorgu was always involved in the game. Maybe his final ball needs to be, a little bit touched up, a little bit practiced a little bit because his final ball wasn't great and his decision-making was suspect at sometimes. But that is young players. That's what happens with young players, doesn't it? So overall, the second half of the game was absolutely brilliant, and I'm proud of the team. Absolutely. A fit Mason Mount is dangerous. Absolutely, Amir. I mean, look, Mason Mount won the player of the season for Chelsea in their Champions League winning season. He won the player of the season. He was an England international regular, and there was a reason for that. He is a good player, and I hope that he can succeed, of course. Amir, I wouldn't say he's lived up to the number 7. That takes a lot of doing, Amir. That's a little bit way over the top. All right. Number 7's Cantona, David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't lived up to number 7 yet. He had one game. We have to calm down a little bit. Big up Amir, though. We need De Ligt back. Fingers crossed, absolutely. A little bit disappointed with some of the defensive displays of Maguire. I felt like Maguire was a little bit sloppy yesterday, if I'm being honest with you. He kept giving the ball away. We were relatively solid, but the amount of times we gave the ball away, especially from the back, Kate created a lot of problems, and it also created a goal, which I felt that Onana should have saved. But Amram was pacing like a tiger, waiting to make those subs. He knew what he had to do something. Absolutely, Jenkins, and that is the sign of a great manager. Absolutely superb. Absolutely, Ephraim. Who do you start in the final, Luke Shaw or Lindelof? For goodness me. Basically, that's like saying, what do you want to keep, your thumb or your finger? That's basically what it's like saying. To be honest with you, I hope that De Ligt can get fit and we can have De Ligt and Euro in that defense along with Mazraoui. I think that would be the best defense for Manchester United. I doubt it. I mean, obviously, De Ligt needs to get fit before the final. He needs to get match fit. Obviously, Ruben Amorim's very big on match fitness and stuff like that, of course. Lindelof is always scary. He is. A quite average game, to be honest. Euro is immense. I think he can be better than Rio. Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's only 20 years old, isn't he, Jengus? So he's got quite a while to go to get to Rio's level, but he's got time on his side. As I said, I haven't seen a young defender at centre-back at Man United as good as Lenny Yoro. I haven't. The thing about Lenny Yoro is that he goes in the game and you see the way he goes forward as well. Not only his defensive skills, he also goes forward well and creates things. Created a goal for us, of course, got us back in the game. And that was thanks to Ruben Amorim as well when he was pushing the team up. Good morning, Gladiator. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. There's always a magical ingredient to Mum's special recipe, and Ahmad was that to our 11. His presence alone transformed our game. Him and Mason Mount, and we have to give a credit to Mason Mount. I mean, Mason Mount changed the game as well. And I felt like who changed the game? Ruben Amorim changed the game. Ruben Amorim had the confidence and the guts to change it when he didn't, when it could have all went slapped in his face. It could have all went pear-shaped. Ahmad's a generational. And we have to wrap Ahmad up in cotton wool, and we have to make sure that Ahmad is fit for that final. Because when Ahmad plays, we do go forward. We do attack better. We look dangerous, especially when Ahmad's on that wing. He made an assist for Rasmus Højlund straight away when he came on the pitch. Unbelievable player. And who do you have to thank for getting him? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for getting Ahmad. Absolutely brilliant player. And you know what? He looks like he's beefed up a little bit, looks a little bit stronger now. I think he's very, very important for Manchester United going forward. Really important player for us. Oliver, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. You cannot miss the final with 2 yellow cards anymore. Really? I didn't know that, Oliver. Thank you for so much for saying. Only a red card then. Yeah, that means Tottenham will have their full team. Amorim's a brilliant manager. He needs to respect. People need to put respect on Amorim's name this morning. But they're not going to come on this stream because they only come on this stream to moan. You know, they need to put respect on Amorim's name. Absolutely. How you see Bruno Fernandes' game yesterday? Average for Bruno's levels, Ephraim. I feel like it's a little bit average. Part of me feels like all those rumors that were circulating over this last week about his move to Saudi Arabia, it kind of maybe hampered his game a little bit. But what I want to see and what I'm a little bit concerned about is Bruno Fernandes. When the game is not going well, he's a captain, right? And he needs to change it a little bit. You know, hype up the players a little bit. Grab them by the shirt. Do what you need to do. Become a captain. That's what he needs to do. Not just on his footballing ability, because we all know he's got footballing ability. But as a captain, he needs to captain. in my opinion. And for much of that game, we were poor. And God forbid, if Nico Williams or Naki Williams were playing, it could have been a little bit different. Do you know what I mean? So we need to make sure that as a captain, we need to be hyped up at the beginning of the game. We need to be ready at the beginning of the game, because at the beginning of the game, I'm not under any illusions, Man United were poor. And up until the 60th minute, when the changes were made, and I did say before the game that Ruben Amorim will make the changes about the 60th minute, and the changes were perfect, and Man United absolutely destroyed them. Now, I look at that and it gives me a little bit of hope for the final. I mean, I'm confident anyway. I'm not overly confident. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But when we got these players to come off the bench, the likes of Ahmad, the likes of Mason Mount, you can see that, that can change the game completely. And as I said many weeks ago, Ahmad will play a pivotal role in Man United's season in regards to the Europa League. I mean, imagine Ahmad doesn't start the Europa League. I think he should start the Europa League final, but imagine he didn't. Imagine it's 60 minutes, right? And then you bring on Ahmad. It's horrible for the opposition, isn't it? When you've got a player like Ahmad coming on, it's going to be horrible for the opposition. Jengas, left-footed finish also, right? It was a great goal, a great improvisation, great obviously accuracy as well. Casemiro, Ugarte and Bruno later in the game were our best players. Question for you though, is Dorgu a fraud? No, he's not a fraud, Philip. Dorgu is 20 years old. Dorgu was continuously going forward in the game. His final ball is a little bit suspect, but he's a young player and that he will learn from that, just like Garnacho is learning at the moment. I would say that I wouldn't jump on Dorgu. I thought it was good yesterday. It was good yesterday. And he just couldn't get that final ball. I felt he was always involved as a young player to come into that game and not really give Athletic Bilbao a sniff. I thought he was good. And I felt like, no, he's not a fraud. No one is a fraud in our team right now. They've reached the Europa League final, right? So let's get behind these lads. Some of these are very young players and they're going to take time to get ready. They're going to get time to improve. This is a big club, full of a lot of pressure, a lot of toxicity at the moment. It's very difficult for any young player to come from the likes of Lecce, right, to Manchester United and perform. So you've got to be very fair and when we're criticizing young players. I mean, calling any young players a fraud is not what we do. It's not, as Manchester United, it's not what we do. Youth, courage, success. We don't do that at Man United. That is not what Man United are about. And anyone who calls Dorgu a fraud should not be at Man United as a fan. At the end of the day, definitely not. Big up, Philip. Kenny, Dorgu had a good game, but people won't mention about him. People just want to over-sensationalize and create something that doesn't exist. Dorgu got forward a lot of times, created problems on the left-hand side. He's getting better as well. And let's not forget, he's been thrown in the deep end here, coming in the mid-season as well. Thrown in the deep end. And you know what? A lot of pressure has been on his shoulders, his young shoulders, of course. Ephraim, he can win us a final. Ahmed is generational. And we're very lucky to have Ahmed at our football club at the moment. And I'm so happy he's playing for Man United, guys. I really am. And you know what? A very grounded human being, a very confident human being, very religious human being as well, of course. And I'm very happy that he plays for Man United. And what I want to see, though, I want to see Ahmad on that wing. I think Ahmad on that wing is dangerous for anyone, And as soon as he came on the pitch, he created a goal for Rasmus. No surprise, Rasmus finally scores when he gets a little bit of service. You know what I mean? But what I would say, and I want to give an example of a great attacking play. The first goal for Mason Mount. What I want to see from a player like Rasmus Højlund is exactly what Mason Mount did yesterday. When Mason Mount he got the ball, he done a cheeky little turn and curled it into the corner. Absolutely brilliant. That is what you call great attacking play, right? And that is what attackers and strikers do. Great strikers, great attackers. It reminded me a little bit of Makeda. Do you remember Makeda against Aston Villa all those years ago? It reminded me of that. That sort of thing where you do that little shimmy, turn and bend it in the corner in one instance, in one movement. That is what great players do. That is how it should be. Dorgu, a great pass to Garnacho, should have scored. Absolute Darren. Look, One thing about Garnacho that I would point out is that Garnacho is his final ball again, and he's finishing. But good thing about Garnacho is that Garnacho is always in the position to score. You know, he's very useful. Whether he's coming off the bench, whether he's playing from the start, he's very useful. And you know, in the first half, he was the only outlet who was getting past, you know, the last man, and he was the only one who was creating problems for Athletic Bilbao. No, yes, that finish was poor. It was a poor finish. You know, it should have just bent it in the other corner, but it is what it is. And at the end of the day, but Dorgu did well yesterday. I mean, I would not let anyone call Dorgu a fraud. Absolutely. How can anyone call him a fraud after yesterday? A 20-year-old young player who's come into this country, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, in England, and played like that and had responsibility on his shoulders. We got players like Mason Mount and Malacia, you know what I mean? Who you know what I mean? There you go. Just goes without saying. Dorgu wasn't bad. He made some great penetrating runs, but his final ball let him down at times, few times. This can be smoothed out. Absolutely, Cengiz. This is exactly what is a young player is about, isn't it, bro? This is young players will not always make the right choices, you know, but that comes with experience. Experience is the most important thing that you get. You know, we all remember Cristiano Ronaldo when he came to Man United, and he was known as the step-over merchant, you know, and he improved his game as he went on. It depends. You know, the thing is, the concern we have about Rasmus Højlund is because Rasmus Højlund is 22 going on 23. When you're 20, it is a very, very important time in your career. 20 to 23. 20 to 23. That period there, you're deemed a kid, right? 20 to 23, or not 18 to 23, around that, yeah? So if by 23 you're still doing the same mistakes and you're still making the same wrong decisions, then you can say, well, you know what? He's not that player. You know what I mean? And when you look at Garnacho, you look at the last game, you know, against Brentford, the assist and stuff, you say, he's starting to understand. But his finishing needs to improve. Kenny, I can't understand this Dorgu agenda from South. It's ridiculous, mate. They don't understand football. I mean, and for anyone to be moaning today, for anyone to be crying today, from a team that beat the fourth best team in Spain 4-1, 7-1 on aggregate, Dorgu was present in those two games. Dorgu didn't make any mistakes yesterday. He didn't make any mistakes in Bilbao. Man United comfortably went against Bilbao. I mean, they need to lay off him. He's 20 years old, just like they need to lay off Garnacho. Whatever you think about Garnacho, let me tell you something right now. We can't do anything about any player we got right now. They are playing for Manchester United right now, and we need to support them to win the Europa League. That's what we need to do. You know what I mean? We can't be criticizing these players now. In this pivotal month, you know, this next 2 weeks is going to make or break our history. If Man United win the Europa League, we're going into the summer transfer window. We got Champions League football, and we're going to sign great players. Hopefully, fingers crossed, right? It's such an important time in our history. And it's about time that the so-called fans get behind our players. The players with our best rating is Mount, Euro, Bruno, and Casemiro, all over 8. Dorgu, Ahmad, Mainu, and Højlund are behind these four. Our worst players are Nana. It looked like he playing for the goal. It looks like he is. I've always learned, Yale. Good comment, by the way, Yale. Hope you're doing well. I've always learned as a goalkeeper. I was an ex-goalkeeper, by the way. I turned into a right back thing. What I was always told, and what I learned from the likes of the Great Dane, Peter Schmeichel, Van der Sar, never jump for a goal to save a goal with two hands. Never do it. Never do it. Because generally, let me tell you something, you get less power in two hands like that. Especially when your two hands are like that, you get less power. And when you're jumping, you cannot elevate yourself high enough. Right? I don't know why I should be explaining this to Anana. But when you jump with two hands, you cannot get high enough. Now, when you look at some of the saves that David De Gea used to get, he would have saved that goal. You'll jump with one hand. And when you jump with one hand, right, you get more elevation and you can stretch all the way up like that and jump and use this arm to elevate yourself. That is what great goalkeepers do. And you know what I mean? I'm not a professional goalkeeper, but I know that. Look at the great goalkeepers over the years that always went with one hand. Look at Donnarumma against Arsenal. One hand, always. Don't go with two hands because you need that hand to push yourself up, and that's what you do. Rio Ferdinand's 19 at West Ham, so I think Yoro is still 19. He's a Rolls Royce of a player, absolutely. If he becomes anywhere near as good as Rio Ferdinand, we got a player on our hands. Rio Ferdinand was an absolute generational. Revisionism, obviously, is important. We have to understand who Rio Ferdinand was. Rio Ferdinand was an England international at 19. You know what I mean? And he was a brilliant player, absolutely fantastic player. But for Manchester United, as a 19-year-old, he's the best young player we've had. He's the best young player that Manchester United have had. I firmly believe in defence, in centre-back, definitely. Ephraim, so we can have a bench Garnacho to the final, start him. I mean, what a tool to have, Ephraim. What a player to bring off the bench. I mean, what you know, we got pace. I mean, imagine the game's 0-0, right? Imagine the game's 0-0. We get to 60, 70 minutes against Tottenham. And we're bringing on a Garnacho, you know what I mean? Or an Ahmad, whoever it is. But we're bringing on these players. How scary would that be for Tottenham? You know what I mean? And Tottenham ain't great. We have to be on it from minute 1 against Spurs. Absolutely. We can't give this away. We can't give this away. Man United need to start the game quicker. Because as I said, I'm under no illusions about our start to the game. For half of that game, we were poor. And many of us were like, what's going on here? This is crap. This is shit. This is that. Many of us were saying that at the end of the day, weren't we? Very good. Guys, I'm going to get into my player ratings, guys. I'm going to get into that right away. Here we go. Let's get into some of the player ratings now. Let me just get this up. So here is the player ratings conducted by my Instagram and my Facebook followers. Of course, the poll goes like this. Onana gets a 6.2. The goal was poor. As I said, should have went with one hand, not two hands, and was a little bit flat-footed for the goal, in my opinion. Lindelof didn't really put a foot wrong, but I give him a 6.6. Nothing was his fault. Didn't really put a foot wrong in the game. Wasn't great, wasn't brilliant. Just there. You know, Maguire, I felt, had a poor game, guys. I felt like Maguire had a poor game. Maguire basically gave the ball away for the goal, the first goal. He gave the ball away, which led to the brilliant goal in the end. But obviously, Nana should have saved it. So it was, and not only that, he did it a couple of times in the game, and it was very clumsy for Maguire. I mean, and he's been performing quite well recently. I was shocked. Lenny Yoro, what do I say about Lenny Yoro, which hasn't already been said? Brilliant. Brilliant from Lenny Yoro. Absolutely generational defender. Brilliant, and we're lucky to have him. Mazraoui, a 7. Average game for Mazraoui. Good, but average. Was solid. Didn't put a foot wrong, to be honest with you. Made one mistake in the first half, I think, that nearly let Bilbao in. But overall, I felt he was decent and solid and playing in a position, you know, a different position to yesterday. So, you know, given the benefit of that. Casemiro, excellent. Showed his experience. Got a goal. Casemiro this season has been highly underrated. 7.8 for me, highly underrated. Credit must go to Ruben Amorim for bringing Casemiro back. Credit must go to Ruben Amorim for that. Ruben Amorim, Casemiro, I mean, a lot of people were writing Casemiro off a few weeks ago, weren't they? They were writing him off and, saying that, oh, you know what, he's finished. Mate, he's really proved these doubters wrong. He's proved these doubters wrong, and I'm incredibly proud of Casemiro. And we're going to need the experience of Casemiro going forward, of course, in the Europa League final. Ugarte got a 7, was good for me, solid. Not amazing, but did the job that he was supposed to do. It was difficult, a difficult game. Against a Bilbao side that were very potent in the middle of the park. They were getting through our midfield a little bit too easy sometimes, which is why Ugarte gets a 7 for me. But I felt like he had a good game, 7. Dorgu had a good game, bombing up and down that thing. His decision-making is a problem, but that will improve with age and experience. 7.2 for Dorgu. People forget that Dorgu come from a low Italian team named Lecce, right? Lecce are not winners, right, at the end of the day. So for him at 20 years old to come into Man United in a toxic atmosphere at 20 years old, guys, credit must be given to Dorgu, and I would not let anyone call him a fraud or anything like that or criticize him. He's a young player, and we have to back that player, guys. Bruno Fernandes gets a 7.3 for me. Yeah, a good game for Bruno in the second half. Felt he pulled some strings in the second half, and I felt he was good. And but in the first half, he does need to improve a lot. And you know what? I gave him a 7.3 because he was heavily involved in the change of the game. Garnacho 6.3. You know what? Average game for Garnacho. Missed a great chance, but in the first half, he got substituted early as well. In the first half, I felt that he made the most runs. He was the most dangerous player for Man United. But you know what? It's just the final ball again. It's just the final touch, the final finish, whatever it is. He needs to improve that, of course. Højlund, the 6.4, up until the goal, was relatively oblivious in the game. Didn't really do anything apart from the tapping, which was set up brilliantly by Ahmad, of course. So I would say that, better from Højlund, but still needs a lot of improvement, in my opinion. Still needs a little bit more, needs to work on his game in regards to making things happen for himself. You know what I mean? Not just waiting for the ball to come in. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. In regards to the substitutions, sure, average when he came on, he gets a 6. Mason Mount, brilliant. 8.7. 8.7 for Mason Mount. Brilliant. I mean, that is one of the best half an hours I've seen a Man United player play in a very long time. And I'll be honest, guys. Ahmad, 7.7. Absolutely brilliant. When he came on, the danger, the whole game swifted in our favor, shifted in our favor, in my opinion, and it was good. Good from Harry Amas when he came on. Very confident. I like the player. I really do. I think Harry Amas has a great future at Manchester United. I think given more time, next season is going to be a Harry Amas season. And it's going to be a bit of a conundrum what's going to happen because we've got Harry Amas, Luke Shaw, Malacia, and of course, Diego Leon, who's walked through the door as well, and Dorgu. So, you know what? It's going to be very difficult for Harry Amas to break into this side as a left back. So, you know, I'm interested to see the development of Harry Amas. I felt like Kobe Mainoo came on and controlled things. I thought he was good when he came on. Got the ball, moved the ball forward. We were more proactive with Mainoo on the pitch. Things completely changed when the substitutions came on. Let me tell you, things changed in that game. The substitutions were brilliant. And every single one of those substitutions who came on yesterday made their mark. Absolutely made their mark. And they were brilliant. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think. Where was we? We have to be on it for the absolutely. I think I read that one. Very good. It was very good, Jale. I agree. Dorgu defensively was good also. Puts in a lot of work. Casual fans, they don't understand that they're about vibes. You know what I mean? That's what they are. They're about vibes, and they're about Lamine Yamal fans. These type of people who want defenders to play like Lamine Yamal. That's what they want basically, and you know that doesn't work out at the end of the day. And these are the type of fans that we have, unfortunately. I wouldn't call them fans. 7 clearances and 1 interest and 4 tackles is why he got a higher rating. Football is not always what you do for. Yeah, absolutely, Charlie. As a defender myself, defense. Someone told me the other day, Man United were poor against because we were no, it weren't Man United. It was who was it? What was the game? I'm trying to think about the game. Anyway, someone told me that the team, I can't remember what game it was, but the team were too defensive. I'm looking at it, I'm telling people they didn't concede a goal. Defense is part of the game. Defense is an art form. It is actually a skill to defend. Defending is difficult. You know, you're constantly watching the attacker. You're constantly trying to keep the player offside. You know, and you need strength, you need ability, you need confidence. You make a mistake, you're generally punished in defense. It's a lot of pressure in defense. So people just look at football in a way that, you know what I mean, as I said, they want every player on the pitch to be Lamine Yamal. It's exactly what I said. They want everyone to be Lamine Yamal. That is what they want. But they don't understand that football doesn't work like that. Would you sell? It's the wrong time to ask me, Lisa. It's the wrong time to ask me. What I would say is let's wait to the summer. A fit Mason Mount is a good Mason Mount for us. A fit Mason Mount is a very good player. And I would say that at the moment right now, I don't want to be asked that question because I felt he had a fantastic cameo yesterday and he was really good. Absolutely. Good morning, Sonny. How you doing, you legend? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're good. Absolutely. Dorgu can also play on the right. Yep, these Muppets next season will be a blowing smoke up Dorgu's arse. And you know what I want to say, Jengas? I haven't seen any Amaram out clowns in this stream today. They're so quick, right? When we lose a nothing game against Brentford, right? To jump on this stream and start giving it about Dorgu, about Amarim, about this, about that. But when we win these games, they go missing. It's like a missing persons party. Do you know what I mean? Good morning, Revert 7. How you doing, you legend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Garnacho looks afraid to me. Last year, he would. I mean, what I would say, Charlie, can I be honest? Stop. We need to. Certain man have damaged Garnacho. Certain man stand outside Old Trafford and start giving it to Garnacho. I said at that time when certain over-cholesterol, Biani-eating fools were criticizing Garnacho in front of his face, I said that's going to damage a young player. Ever since that time, it's damaged him. But let me tell you something, Yarli. His statistics are the best at anyone his age. You know what I mean? And I would say that. Look at his statistics. Look at his statistics, and you will see how good he is. If he improves the errors that he does, we've got a great player on our hands. And that's what it's about, analysing the game fully. Not just looking how he missed a chance. Think about if he starts putting those chances away. You know, he's a Puskas winner, right? He's a Copa America winner, Copa Libertadores winner. He's the top 5 young player in the world as rated by FIFA. You know, so at the end of the day, he's got the ability. It needs to be nurtured, but people need to understand that the pressure has been on Garnacho from day one. Garnacho has been thrown into this team at 20 years old, right? And I don't want people to give me that Lamine Yamal thing, that crap that the people throw at me, because at the end of the day, Lamine Yamal's a generational, and only one player every decade comes out like Lamine Yamal, right? And I would say that Garnacho, he needs to be nurtured, and he needs to be looked after, right? And the good things will come, and I believe in him. And whatever happens in the summer will happen, but now we need to back him. Revert 7, fair play to Mason Mount. If he stays fit, he can be an asset. You can see why the boss likes him. And one thing about Mason Mount, he's not like one of those players who are going to sweep you, you know what I mean? Not, you know, put you on the edge of your seat. But what Mason Mount is, he's a very tactical footballer. A very tactical footballer. He knows positions well. He knows where to position himself on the pitch, and he knows how to keep the ball. And he's a very good passer of the ball as well. It goes under the radar a little bit. Yes, if we get a fit Mason Mount, and it's going to be difficult to get a fit Mason Mount, of course, he had a pelvis injury. You know what I mean? We're in for a good thing here. We're in for a good thing. And hopefully he does stay fit. Good morning, guys. What a game yesterday. Bring on Tottenham. Let's go. Come on, Triple M. Let's bring it on. Big up, my friend. Big up everyone who's joined me today. You legends. Absolutely. Revert 7. Dorgu, like Garnacho, 20 years old. His decision-making will improve. Yamal laminate his skewed expectations on young players. Not everyone is generational like Rooney, Messi, Yamal. Exactly, Revert 7. And we need to understand that these players come every decade. They come every 10 years. You know what I mean? There's been no one as good as Wayne Rooney come through. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And also, talent has regressed, in my opinion. We have to win it for Amarim. I would love Amarim to lift that Europa League trophy, guys. I would really love Amarim to lift it. It would be a beautiful moment, and it would shut up a lot of doubters, wouldn't it? It'd be absolutely beautiful. Dorgu is a defender, and he defended very well. Absolutely, Randy. Spot on, brother. They're called fickle Man United fans, just here for the glory. They really need to go back and research who Man United are, you know, and it really annoys me because I supported this football club through thick and thin. Through the late 80s, all the way to this present day. I've seen everything. And these people haven't seen everything. They haven't seen the progress of what it did to make us into a great team, you know? Unbeaten in Europe, Amir. Unbeaten in Europe. The only team in Europe unbeaten is Manchester United. I'm so glad we kept our unbeaten record yesterday. Really glad about that, of course. Let's read some quotes from our manager, Ruben Amorim, of course. So Ruben Amorim said, let me just get this. He said, it is at least we can do for these fans. I am stressed already because of the final. If you don't win it, it's nothing. Absolutely. I love this mentality. There's no point getting to the final if we don't win it, guys. It's so important that we win this game, of course. Absolutely. It's so important. he said, I'm so happy for Mason Mount. I really liked Kobe Mainu. Sometimes you're on the bench and you can change the game. And absolutely. And not only that, a manager can change the game as well. A manager can change the game. And Ruben Amram deserves his call yesterday. Absolutely. First of all, it's the energy. I felt like the players like Mazraoui, he has no energy at this moment. Ahmad gave us this spark that you need to change games. Ahmad is a generational, and you know what? Ahmad needs to play on that right wing back. He needs to play on the wing. He needs to be on the wing. I mean, Ahmad needs to be there. I mean, he's so dangerous. I mean, if I was Tottenham, I wouldn't like to play against Ahmad. Ruben Amram said, when we have a full squad, you can think about the game. We had some games where we were surviving, trying to push players to play in different positions. These type of things help us to win games. What have we said about squad, guys? What have we said about square pegs in round holes over the years? What over the months, last few months, square pegs and round holes. Wait until Ruben Amram gets his full team in. What have we been saying from the beginning? Absolutely. I'm stressed already for the final, says Ruben Amram. I think we all are. I think we all are stressed. But one thing is we have to enjoy it because we've had a terrible season this season. But we've come out of it with more to play for than most of the teams in the Premier League. You know, we got more to play for than all of them, basically. You know, we got something to play for. They haven't. Arsenal got nothing to play for. Chelsea have got the Conference League, so they'll probably win that. I think they're playing Betis in the final. Big up Betis, come on. I want them to win that. And yeah, you know, to salvage something out of this season be nothing short of a miracle. The Great Escape. We all remember when Jose Mourinho did it, the Great Escape in 2017. Another bit of history repeated. That's what it is. A bit of history repeated. Let's go see where we were. Revert 7. Yes, still unbeaten in Europe. Deserves credit. One more game to go. Absolutely. And when have Man United ever been unbeaten in Europe? 99 and 2008. We were unbeaten in Europe. Unbeaten. Where's our gold Champions League trophy? Are we going to get a gold Europa League trophy? I know Arsenal like making gold trophies for themselves. Why don't we get a gold Europa League trophy? Where's our gold Europa League trophy? Absolutely. Amram, we trust. Absolutely. Amir, my friend. Donnarumma and Summer make great saves like Onana goal conceded. They would have saved that, Lisa, 100%. Almost 100%. We believe in you, Sir Adam. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, Amir. Big up, big up. Would still sanction the selling of Mason Mount. If we get a good offer, he will not stay fit and injury-free. We'll pick another one and we'll be for Mounts again. Talented, yes. Just like Hargreaves, but need better. I have to agree, goals for George, but we have to wait until the summer, isn't it? He has a pelvis injury, and the pelvis medication that you have to take creates knock-on injuries. And as you said there, Owen Hargreaves, right? Owen Hargreaves was one of the best CDMs and versatile as well. Could play right back, left back, everywhere. One of the best players in Europe when fit. But when he wasn't fit, it was very often. And people underestimate the impact that Owen Hargreaves had during the 2007-2008 season. You know, it was brilliant. Unfortunately, injury hurt his career, you know, and brilliant player. Bayern Munich would tell you that when he played for Bayern Munich. But you're absolutely right. Mason Mount reminds me of Owen Hargreaves. He does. And good player on his day, but injuries is going to destroy him. Sad as it is, but right now I want to concentrate on the positives. And I want to say he done very well when he came on yesterday. And you know what? Probably, let's see who's the man of the match. If we can get it. Oops. If I can get it up here. Let's see if we can get the man of the match up. So far, Mason Mount and Euro are neck and neck on the man of the match with 38%. 38% each. Ahmad gets 12%. Casemiro gets 12%. Wow. I thought Ahmad would have got a lot more than that. 37% each for Euro and Mason Mount. Give it a like for Ahmad. Ahmad was brilliant. Ahmad changed the game as well, guys. Let's get some more votes for Ahmad, of course. Rio was at West Ham initially, Leeson, and then he went to Leeds. Yeah, but he was. We're talking about when he broke through. He was at West Ham, mate. At 19. I hope Ruben finds a way to crack the Spurs ghost. We have not won against them since 22. The one thing I would say, Yale, and I will bring it into our favour, is that Tottenham are not used to finals. This is a different atmosphere, a neutral stadium which we played in and won. And when you look at Man United, what we need to look at, when Tottenham look at Man United, they're going to see Casemiro, 5 European Cups. You know what I mean? They're going to see Bruno's been in loads of finals. You know what I mean? They're going to see a lot of winners in that team. De Ligt, who's won trophies. You know, there's a lot of winners in that team, and that is what we have to remember and focus on. That we have more winners in our team and more experience in our team than them. Of course. So let's see what happens. But I don't mind, guys. I really don't mind us being the underdogs. I don't, because you know, at the end of the day, you know, I don't want any pressure on us, put extra, of course. Rio was generation. I remember the hype when he first 16. It was brilliant. Unbelievable. Yeah, for an hour we were outplayed by Bilbao. We have to remember that. And this is something, these details that we have to fix. Because other teams will not give us this opportunity. If, hopefully, we get to the Champions League, we're not going to get this type of chance to bed ourselves into the game. We need to bed ourselves into the game a lot quicker, of course. Jengas, yeah, I'm not knocking Rio out. I just love watching Lenny the way. I mean, absolutely. I know you're not, Jengas. Absolutely. I would just say that he's the best young player, defender, that has played for Man United that I can remember. And I've seen a lot of good players come through. I mean, the last one I can remember, a young player like Lenny Yoro, is Wes Brown, is the only one I can remember who resembled anything like that. You know, but Lenny Yoro is a generational, and I hope he becomes as good as Rio Ferdinand, because then we got a great player on our hand. Brilliant. And we already have. I mean, look, he brought the team forward. He got us back into the game. He's not only the defender, he attacks well as well. He's brilliant. Good morning, Mark. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Oh, no, media noticed the patch on Ruben's hand like he punched another TV. I love that, Charlie. I love that. I love the fact that he has a plaster in his hand. I love that about my manager. It's like when Alex Ferguson kicked a boot. You know what I mean? I love the fact that he's punched something. It means something to him. He wants to win it. And what happened? The second half, he made those changes. It took guts, courage to make those changes. He made those changes and he changed the game in our favor. And that was Ruben Amorim. And I applaud him for that. Ruben gets an 8, by the way, for me to this day. Man of the match must be split for Euro and Mount, both on an 8+ ratings in my book. There you go. It's subjective, of course. Triple M, what do you expect? He's playing Blundersoft next year. It's hard to have Lindelof. I mean, Lindelof for the final would be nerve-wracking like hell, man. My goodness me. Casemiro has hit form last week's been brilliant. Brilliant. I thought he'd get a second yellow, though, flying into tackles. I mean, yeah. I was so scared that we're going to get a red. I didn't want any of those players to miss the game. I gave up on Casemiro. He well and truly redeemed himself. Kudos to him, and hope he can keep up. Hope Mount can stay fit and just improve more and more. We need him, exactly. We need, Mark, we need every single one of those players fit. That's what we need. Every single one of those players can make a difference in that final. You know what I mean? Mason Mount, we would never have expected would come on and score a brace. You know, and he made a difference in that, and we need him, you know. Garnacho made a wonderful runs, just can't finish. What is the problem with our forwards? And it's confidence, Mark. It's confidence. And it doesn't help when you have some people who destroyed the players' confidence outside Old Trafford, and we all know what happened. Rasmus nearly missed the tap-in. I mean, yeah. I mean, I want to see a lot more from Rasmus, Jenga. So I don't know how you feel about that, but I want to see a lot more from Rasmus. I do. Wing back is very physical, demanding role. These casual fans expect Dorgu to play like Nuno Mendes every game, except he'd cost us 3 times as much. And he's much more experienced, isn't it, Cengiz, as well? You know, playing at the top level in the Champions League every single... I mean, Dorgu's played for Lecce. You know, we got to give him a chance. So, no corner front. Guys, here's a question for you. Beef Bully, big up. Here's a question for you. When was the last time Man United had no corners in a football match? No corners yesterday. Incredible. Wow. Garnacho is a star. He will get much better. He needs relief to take pressure off him. Too heavy load on a young age at the lad. But the boy did handle it well. He is only human. Give him a break, please. Mark, I applaud you, mate. I applaud Mark for that brilliant comment. Absolutely brilliant comment. Mark, you know what? Yeah, that is brilliant. There you go. Brilliant. Brilliant for Mark. Great comment. I absolutely agree. People forget how young these players are and that they're only human beings at the end of the day. Any news on transfer sale? Nothing at the moment. I'm going to bring in some transfer news. Obviously, this game is about the match reaction. Dorgu is... Cunha is close, Leeson. We could get a here we go with Cunha very, very soon. I'm saying Monday. I'm putting my neck out there, guys. I'm saying Monday, Man United could get a deal sealed for Dorgu. It could be net, but definitely we'll hear more from next week. Definitely, we'll hear more. We have to beat Spurs. We're in advanced talks for Cunha, basically. One of my brothers works for Tottenham Hotspur FC. Please beat. I mean, guys, can I just say something? If we lose to Tottenham, we won't live it down. We won't live it down. Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, they'll be at us. I mean, Tottenham, Arsenal fans will be happy. Arsenal fans will be angry as well because Tottenham win it, you know. 5 finals in 5 years. Arsenal, 0 finals in 5 years. There you go, mate. There you go. It was a complete show last night. Set pieces, long-range shots. It was brilliant yesterday. Loved it. Glad he removed Mazza, the poor guy. Well, he's worn out. You know what I mean? That guy was playing in Ramadan and everything. You know what I mean? Absolute legend. Yep, so 2009-11, we were unbeaten in Chelsea final, but lost both. Let's not bring the negatives, Beef. We also were unbeaten in 99 and 08. So let's bring that one into it. Absolutely. 09, we lost in the group stage. If I'm not wrong, we lost in the group stage. Have a look. So I think we lost in the group stage in one of those seasons. So Man United, oops. Yeah, I think we lost in the group stage. Have a look, Beef. It's either 09 or 011 we lost in the group stage. It does look like Mount will be involved in about half the games this season. If he continues to play like he did last night, we got a big player there. He can play 90 minutes. If he can play 90 minutes, absolutely, Yali, I agree. Alan Smith was good for us. Very good striker. So it's sad injury. I mean, he got a big injury, didn't he, against Liverpool that time. Amram is an excellent manager. I trust him to keep Mount fit. He knows the guy is eating when he has the ice bath and everything. This Spanish manager. Ruben Amram is a generational manager, and we have to back Ruben Amram to the hill and back, because at the end of the day, we're not going to get a better manager than Ruben Amram. Trust me on that one. Absolutely. Ahmad taking selfie with the fans. It was hilarious. It was really good. It was a nice moment. I thought Ahmad made a massive impact, Toxie. Massive impact. What happens with Ahmad when Ahmad gets on the pitch? The team move forward. The whole team moves forward. And Athletic Bilbao were panicking. I feel if Man United had another 15 minutes, it could have been 5 or 6-1. It was that good. Imagine losing against Spurs. It'd be please, no. I hope it's the third time lucky. Diallo, he's lost 21-22 with Rangers. Third time lucky. And for Bruno Fernandes, second time lucky. He lost the first final, didn't he? Amram will deliver the knockout punch to Spurs. Yes, he will. I think we'll be ready. I don't want to see Fatih Koglu lifting that bloody the Europa League trophy. It'd be disgusting, because Tottenham qualified, right, for the Europa League via the league, because I think they came 5th or 6th, right? We won the FA Cup to do it, beating Man City. Tottenham have had the easiest run in the Europa League. Man United have played Real Sociedad, Athletic Bilbao, and Lyon. Who have Tottenham played? You know what I mean? Who have Tottenham played? We had the hardest run to this final. When you look at the Europa League group stage, every team we played was in the top half of the Europa League, top half of the table. If Tottenham win it, it'd be a travesty. But it won't. They won't. We got this. Have you seen the clip of Cass coming off the pitch and slapping? I mean, I loved it, Joel. I saw it, the hug. I saw it. It was beautiful. I love it. I love the passion from Casemiro. That's one thing I love about Casemiro. Absolutely. Hands off Nacho, please. Absolutely, brother. Guys, think about this. You are a player that Man United is interested in. All eyes are on Man United as they keep going through Europe, and Amram is changing United. Why wouldn't we die not to join? Absolutely, brother. I would. I'd join Man United anytime. You know what I mean? Even if we're in the 3rd division. Free Yemen, free Middle East, absolutely. From genocide, absolutely. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. We're in a positive mood. And keep your notifications on. And don't forget to smash a like on the video if you can be as kind. Glory, glory, Man United. It's onwards and upwards. And all roads lead to Bilbao. That is what it's all about now. And that is what it is all about for us. No more negativity. Support Ruben Amram. Don't go crying like a little baby at the weekend if we lose to West Ham. It's not about the league at the moment. It is about the Europa League. That is what it's about at the moment. The league is finished. So I know that people are going to come in at the weekend and start saying, oh, Ruben Amram, he's a fraud at the weekend. At the moment, they're going to hide in their little barns or ditches, wherever they're, mud huts, whatever. And they're going to start, you know what I mean, crying. But as soon as they have an opportunity, they come out. But it's up to us to shut them down. It's all eyes, all roads to Bilbao, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Big up, Shah. Big up, everyone. Big up. 2 silent assassins, Cass and Ruben. Absolutely. Great week. Big up, Randy. Absolutely. Have a great day, guys. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn, and I'll hopefully see you later. Keep your notifications on so you know when I go live. Take it easy, guys. Have a great day. Peace.